We interrupt our program at the request of the White House.
This is a test.
Some very strange events have been taking place recently.
The emergency broadcast system.
This is only a test.
Furnishing news, official information, and instruction as soon as possible.
Is there a point to all this? Let's find a point. The world is like a ride at an amusement park.
This is only a test.
This is just a ride. We can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love.
A small group of warriors have taken up the fight on your behalf.
It's been activated to keep you informed.
The Earth is where we make our stand.
You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful.
People of the Earth.
People of Earth.
People of Earth.
If you are not,
People.
tune to a station furnishing information for your area.
We're back. People of Earth, we are back. We took a little spring break, but now we're back at it. We're back in the studio. I'm back from Texas. I got allergies, among other things. I took the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I got a man bun. I'm worried if I let my hair down, I'm going to start clotting. You know, I'm in a tough spot. But we're here. We're doing what we got to do to move forward. It's just that one batch. You know, that's what I say every night. And, you know, it's only those 6 or 8 gals, which is unfortunate for them, but, you know, boys rule.
Yeah, but
Johnson & Johnson was pumping James Brown's It's a Man's World in the laboratory. And there's mixing vials recklessly.
more like it's no baby's world.
No
Because
baby.
that's what happened, right?
I think it was like 6 or 8 women in their like teens to 40s or something like that. But anyway, it ain't us, am I right?
Yeah.
I went out with one of the servers from Cobb's, and just sometimes they can be so much funnier than comedians because they're not having to risk their careers with everything they say. So I was like, we were talking about the vaccine because she got Johnson & Johnson too. And I was like, yeah, they say, it was only like 6, 8 women. And she's like, why not 10? Am I right?
The real world, it's real world comedy. They don't need to
Exactly.
They don't need to perform for anybody.
They're in the shadows. All right. It's the dark arts.
Whoa. Okay.
What else? I got sniffles. I got allergies. They're fucking blowing up 2 properties behind me. It's like this week has been brutal. They're like breaking up a cement foundation in the house right behind the wall where my bed is. So every morning, that's how I wake up. It's just like it's like the scene in Saving Private Ryan, where it's just my ears are ringing, there's pounding, there's debris crashing against the window, and my cat's like, wake up. We have to get up.
The flashback. It's awful. That's so
And
awful.
then they're like ripping up trees and shit on the other property next to me. So there's just like dirt everywhere now. I just cleaned everything, and now I'm gonna have to do it again. Anyway,
It's blowing dirt into your backyard?
dirt, and then they got dust from the cement, so my allergies are all out of whack.
Man.
Yeah, and it's just like the noise, dude. I'm having to blast like action movies in the morning, which is kind of fun. Like I watched that new one, Nobody, today.
Oh,
Did you see that?
Yeah, with Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Saul Goodman.
Which is, a better role, I think for him. The entire time I was just like, it feels like when we were on the playground and one of the kids picks like the fun make pretend role, and the other one's like, and then Better Call Saul's like, well, I want to be John Wick too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. I felt like it was that movie, and then there was another movie that I felt like they directly pulled from. Oh, I don't know. Some of like the Frank Sinatra Joker-esque scenes, I was like, feels very like Joker, John Wick mashup.
Okay.
But I'm also like tired of these like stories about like how everyday people can be radicalized, and they're just like talking to everybody like it could be you. You could go fucking buck wild. Just get a couple guns and stash them in the basement and develop a plan. And then it's Home Alone with hand grenades.
Yeah, is that what the layperson's fantasy is now?
I don't know, dude. I worry. Everyone's just all Call of Dutied up.
Oh, come on.
I don't know, man. You spend enough time in those lobbies and you start to lose some faith in humanity. You just hear people say things that are,
That's true. It's not the
crushing
shooting.
to the soul.
It's
It's not
not
the
the
no,
shooting,
no,
it's
the
bad for
violence.
people.
Yeah, the violence is. It is funny, like I'm not going to do Mark Smalls has a bit about that, about violence in video games. So if you want to listen to that, you can look it up on his social page. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think what it is I also watched that that documentary about QAnon. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I finished all 6 episodes of the required reading. That thing felt like homework. It was also like a whodunit. Like you pretty much knew in the first episode who it was going to be. But maybe I'm just all paranoid about people being radicalized and how much power that kid had with a laptop and friggin' 8chan
And what's insane is that people, even though that it's basically confirmed, you know, people still don't believe it, and they're disregarding that information. And
they're like, no, the real Q's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's still working for us. He's a patriot. I love that New Jersey family where they're like, you know, we've been waiting every day for a Q drop, and it's like, you know, these numbers 69 420. What do they mean? You know, it's got to be some kind of code.
Look at me, I voted for Obama
twice. Look at me. Yeah, that documentary was weird. It's just crazy to think that, like, I don't know, everyone. It seemed like a kind of a doomsday mindset to think that a kid with a laptop could do that kind of damage, and then they show that footage leading up to the Capitol riots, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you know? Yeah, that was nuts.
It's a God complex, God power.
For sure.
It's scary.
Well, it's interesting, right, to see the kind of power that is behind the internet if it was used for the right reasons. Like the community building is what's wild. That's what we were talking about last night with the server, is like there's a comedy community, and like the people in that community know so much more about comedy than like the layperson. And there's so much going on within that community that most people would never even know about because they don't concern themselves with it. It's not in their daily lives or daily routine. And it's like, same thing with this. There's like so much going on. People are fucking preparing movements and insurrections under our noses on the internet, which makes me think that we need to start a forum for People of Earth. All right, we'll call it People of Earth Chan. And we'll be the good guys, all right? The Warriors of Light. We'll start a little forum page where there will be no hate posting, shit posting. Never mind. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get involved with that. I don't want to live in the Philippines. I don't need that life.
We're going to start posting as Jay.
Jay.
And Jay's going to just have the nicest things to say in the world. Jay.
We'll just call it Karen's Corner. No, that's just 1K away from being very problematic.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. What else? You got me drinking this black tie here. You got me.
Oh, you got a black tie today?
I did. I got you. Well, that's what you got. And I was like, I'm going to try it.
What do you think?
I don't know if I agree with the mythology of the black tie.
Okay.
You know, it goes against like everything you hear about with coffee. The cream is supposed to rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And yet with the black tie, it stays at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a cruel, unjust world that the black tie lives in.
Wow. I think that's why I like it. It's the rebel. It's the young teen.
You like the
rebel of
oppression?
coffee.
That cream is where the magic is, and yet it's just held down there.
But you have to work for it, and that builds character.
Some people don't work for it, and they leave it there,
You think
and then
they
it just
go down?
gets cast away with the cup.
The black tie community would disagree.
Well, the black tie community is a very niche community. You know, they've got a subreddit, and they're very committed to their craft. So you're probably right. I'm just not, you know, I'm not a connoisseur, if you will.
You usually get like the red eyes and the black eyes. And
Yeah, I get the hurt my liver order. I tell them I want to be in pain tomorrow, and I don't want any sleep tonight.
Yeah.
I want to be awake with my demons at 4 a.m. Give it to me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to cool it on the caffeine. Probably it will come with the coolant on the weed. Those two go hand in hand, you know.
Yeah.
They're the two monkeys on my back, but they're fun monkeys.
Well, I hear it. I mean, with the nicotine and the coffee in the morning, you can't beat it.
That's a beautiful morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you throw on an action movie to break up the sounds of the chisels in the back, and then, you know, that's almost an Eden right there. You're in paradise.
Damn near.
Jesus Christ, I hate those guys so much. I'm a pacifist. I'm never angry, and it's like, how long does it take? Fucking nuke the backyard, all right? Put up a depth charge. Just break up the cement in a day. I don't care about the fallout and whatever kind of damages you guys incur, but get it out of there. And if I have to listen to one more day of chiseling, I'm gonna lose it.
It's funny how it doesn't really matter unless it messes with your home life. Like, for example, I was in Ace Hardware earlier today. Like, I got here and ran to Ace real quick to get this lovely new candle you sent. But right next door, somebody was jackhammering something super hard, right? And it's shaking all of Ace Hardware. And everybody's just going about their day, like, you know, looking at things and things are falling off the shelf and people are just like looking at it seriously. And I didn't even mind it too. I was standing on close to the wall right next to it. And I feel like when you're sleeping in bed, that's when it's just the worst.
Oh my God. We used to live right across the street from a train track, and it was like 11 at night was the last train, and they would blow that horn, baby, as they were coming into the station. So you weren't going to bed till 11:30, no matter how much you tried.
Yeah.
And then the rattling. Imagine being like in a frontier town when they were first building like steam engines and shit, and being like the general store owner, and you like just set up your pharmacy and all your little medicinal vials, and then the train comes fucking running into town the first time, and it just comes shattering down. And then you become the Hulk, and that's what happens. Is a chemical fire. That's not how it happened. It was gamma. That could have.
Canceled.
No.
You're saying canceled trains.
I'm saying more trains, more superheroes, more accidents in general store pharmacies leading to powers manifesting.
Gotcha.
I'm in favor of it. All right. Make it happen. Stir up the Johnson & Johnson vials. Mix it with a little bit of the Moderna. See what happens. All right.
Okay.
A little bit of alchemy.
They call that the weed whacker. It'll
I
sink
think
you
that's
down.
the Manscaped. The weed whacker is what they anyway, all right. Sponsored by Manscaped. One day. What else were we gonna say? Oh, I saw that Pfizer is now developing a pill that's gonna eradicate COVID, apparently, like entirely. It's like a cure for COVID-19. Which I thought was the vaccination.
That's just defense, I think.
It just feels like we're pushing the 10-yard marker line further down the field. They're like, vaccine, first down.
Well, how is that even gonna? I haven't seen anything on this. How's it gonna change?
I can neither confirm nor deny. I don't know. I just saw an article.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Sitting in the porcelain market doing some business, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Reddit business
Down in the town square.
Yeah,
Or the town circle, I guess. Anyway.
Speaking of town circle, what's up with the circle that you met in Texas?
Ooh, doggy. Yeehaw. I mean, get fucking ready, dude. This, first of all, is about to become a food episode.
Okay.
So I hope everyone has had their lunch. If not, get ready to get hungry. Because it's going to sound like I'm reading the menu at the brunch at Heaven's Gates. All right?
That sounds insane.
I'm glad that I already ate, but I know I'm going to be ready after this. Man, it really sucks, like, going someplace with great food, and then you come back to your town, and you're just, like, depressed for 2 weeks, and you're walking past all your favorite places, like kicking rocks and throwing shit at the window. Like, man, this place fucking sucks. I had, like, my favorite banh mi place back here yesterday, and it was like, doesn't compare.
Man, so
it hurts.
What's the best then out there? Like what?
All right, well, hold on. So first off, I had the incredible opportunity of joining a young rising comedian by the name of Ali Macofsky on her first headlining tour, which was fucking awesome. She did fucking amazing. And watching her work on her set, fine-tune everything, and just going through this process of headlining for the first time too, and building that headlining set, you know, that's like, as we're talking about marching, you know, towards 10-yard lines, that's the goalpost, is getting to your headlining hour and working on that act and getting your material where you want it, and then starting to tour it around and going to clubs and meeting new faces in new places, baby.
Sounds like history in the making.
I mean, yeah, she is history in the making. She's like 24 doing all this right now, already done arenas, now on a headlining tour. She's got a wild story and rise too. Like she's, you know, hopefully we'll get her on here at some point to tell it herself, but was one of those people that was like sneaking into clubs before they were of age to perform, and then was getting up at the Comedy Store regularly through this show called Kill Tony, and then had to stop coming for a while because they found out she wasn't 21.
Oh, man.
And then had a great return when she was 21, and got discovered by people like Andrew Santino and Russell Peters and Joe Rogan, and they took her on the road and under their wings. And it's crazy to see how much that fostered her already latent talent and abilities, because it gave her the confidence to be a fucking killer. She was a lot of fun to watch. So it was a big honor to be invited on that, and it's nice to have become friends and stayed in touch.
Where did you meet her in the first place?
I met her probably like 4 years ago now at Cobb's. I was working the door, and she came up for her NBC New Talent Showcase. Wow. And I had seen her on Kill Tony. And I was like, I know you. And she's like, oh, right on. And we just started gabbing, and then I pointed her in the direction of someone that she should talk to about future bookings for future shows. And then I was like, yeah, if you want, I can come on as your manager and book you some, gigs in the Philippines, and, take you on a tour of Zimbabwe or whatever, I'll take you to Mars, kid. And we had a laugh about that, and it became like an inside joke that I was her manager. And so we'd keep in touch every once in a while about gigs.
Sweet.
Yeah, making sure that she was, out there killing, and talk about meeting up. And then she was featuring for Andrew Santino at Cobb's when I did those shows with the two of them. So that was like the first time we officially got to perform together, I think. And that was a lot of fun. And then, we got to do this. Oh, wait. Well, I mean, the next thing, I had her headline my first boat show.
Okay, sweet.
Thanksgiving weekend this last year, which was fucking awesome. And nice to be able to. She was about to headline the Punchline in San Francisco in April of 2020, and then shutdown happened, obviously. So it was nice to be able to give her a headlining set, not necessarily at the Punchline, but what's kind of cool about the boat show, I was talking with my buddy about this, is the backdrop for the Punchline is a mural of San Francisco, and the boat show, the backdrop is essentially that mural brought to life, because you're just sailing right by the city, all lit up, and it's kind of wild.
That's awesome.
But anyway, I had her headline that, and
quick sidebar. Let's plug that boat show though. Coming when is this next boat show coming? Tell me about it.
So this episode is going to come out Wednesday the 27th? Mm-hmm. No, 28th.
Yeah.
And the boat show is going to be April 30th and May 1st, Friday, Saturday. So if you're in the Bay Area, check out comedyonthebay.com. Get your tickets while they last. They are selling quick. But we got Craig Conant coming to headline, and he is hilarious, and a bunch of other special guests. So that's going to be fucking fun. Got a film crew coming out, too, that's going to help capture some of the magic. So that's going to be nice. But yeah, back to Texas. So that was like, a week and a half ago now? Or a week ago? Anyway, time. It's a construct. Back now. We first landed in Houston. That was the first city. We did 4 shows in 4 cities. First one was in Houston, Texas. First of all, didn't know Texas was so green. Was not expecting that. I was kind of expecting a little bit more deserty, kind of Arizona, New Mexico-ish. But it's a little Eden.
Wow, a little foliage in there?
I'm not going to lie. It's nice.
Okay.
It's nice.
I've never been, so I always imagine it to just be a barren, no offense, but kind of a barren desert.
I mean,
flat.
one would believe.
Yeah.
Come to expect it. The Badlands of Texas. You picture the little fucking cow bull skull. Yeah. And
the tumbleweed.
And the tumbleweed, exactly. Yeah. And the roadrunner, meep meep. Yeah, I'd only ever been to Austin once, and I drove my college roommate out there, Tyler. Shout out to Tyler. And we drove from LA up through Arizona, and then kind of on the bottom of Texas up into Austin. But yeah, flying right into Houston was dope. Super green. The weather was not too hot. It was warm, but it was nice. Went to high school in San Diego. It's kind of like that. Like it's, just warm nights, hot days, shorts and flip-flops, except for the shows, It's a life, baby.
A little sunscreen.
Yeah. You might need it. Yeah. Particularly in the summers, and then in Austin we were doing like lake stuff. But anyway, Houston first, we landed, and they upgraded our car rental to a BMW X2. So we were fucking balling, rolling in style. And it had Connecticut license plates. It looked like we were on a fucking mission from the government. Like we were sent from the state.
Whoa.
And we were. Mission to kill.
Straight out of Area 51.
Mission to kill. All right. We were on the case. Just a couple of young agents out there. So we were balling in this BMW, feeling pretty fucking hot. And then we got to the hotel, and that kind of brought us back down to reality. The hotel was, a bit of a ghost town, bit run down. Probably hasn't seen much business in the last year. I mean, it's Texas, so who knows? But anyway, we're chilling there. We went to this local kind of bar / pizza restaurant where they had a comedy night going. We just found online, and it was called Axelrad, I think. Shout out to Axelrad. It was actually a pretty cool bar. They had like a bunch of like LED lit up trees, and then like maybe 20 yards of this outdoor area was just a wall of like hanging hammock chairs.
Whoa.
Like hammock pods, like four people to a pod, just a wall of them.
4 people to a hammock. Oh, it's like a hammock.
Like
couch.
individual pods, but for four individual pods all facing each other, you know?
Okay, gotcha.
But then set up in little, you know.
That sounds Texas.
It was fucking dope, dude. And you light up a blunt out there and disappear into the night. Just find me swinging in the morning. Oh, dude. We had a good time there. And then we met the guy hosting the show. His name was, I think, Jeff Jones. And he was the host of our show at the Houston Improv the next night. So it was cool that we got to meet him and connect. And then show day split up to, like, you know, explore a little bit. Had to run some errands, get some stuff before the show that we forgot on the flights. And, I mean, forgot to pack. And, you know, then we go over to the and then we met up with the feature act. We went out to dinner first. And the entire time we had a comic named CJ Landry out with us, funny guy from Louisiana. And so we all went out to dinner, and then we went over to the venue. They let us in the back. It was feeling very, you know, mob rolling in there in our BMW X2, show clothes, feeling good, ready to go first night.
Okay.
And it's a wild auditorium too, or like it was kind of in the middle of a club and an auditorium. Cobb's is like that, where it's like a big room, kind of tall and deep. But if you look it up, it kind of looks like an opera house. You check out the Houston Improv. I don't know. It was cool. They had like these acoustic panelings on the ceilings and stuff, and it was wild.
Okay.
So that was fun. That was my least favorite set. I'll just be honest. You know, it was like first time back in clubs was a little bit of anxiety. I was like, you know, I want to make a good impression, for Ali and also for the club owners. And, but by like the third joke, I was, you know, comfortable again. I've been doing all these outdoor shows. So it's, you know, same. And now it's right back to where I want it to be. You know, people are actually there for a comedy show. And,
it's kind of a warm up. Right?
Yeah. First show of any kind of string always is. But yeah, you know, obviously you want to be knocking them out of the park every single time, but usually you're going to have one where you're kind of like, you know, clearing your voice and
yeah,
you brush that one off and then go on to the next one. But still had a lot of fun and was definitely picking up momentum towards the back half of my set and enjoying that a little bit more. Second show, I don't know, dude, they got progressively better, but it's hard to like pick favorites because I really, really enjoyed all of them. Second one, we went to Dallas, Addison area, which is like, Addison is essentially right next to Dallas. It's kind of like when you go to Phoenix, there's Scottsdale and all these other places, but it's all, you know, essentially Phoenix.
Yeah, got you.
So Dallas, Addison, at the Addison Improv, we had a little nicer hotel. The pool was closed, bit of a bummer, whatever, you know. I'm a big hotel pool guy. If I'm at the hotel, I'm going to get room service, watch a movie, and get in the pool. And bring a book out there. If I could sneak a spliff, I'm winning. Did not risk that this time in Texas. I learned my lesson last time I was there.
Yeah.
I got off by the grace of God.
Wow.
But anyway, so we show up at the Addison Improv, and it's fucking like super cool inside. They've got all these neon lights, and it's kind of like an old diner-ish vibe that it looks like they might have converted and converted to show space.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Really fucking cool. And then the kitchen was still like a diner kitchen. And then they had the green room in the back and a little smoke patio. The owner was super fucking funny. He was like, yeah, you know, we just had, my best friend Bill was just here, you know, Bill Burr. And everyone's his best friend, you know, my good friend Roseanne. And, you know, Roseanne Barr. And apparently that club has very good catfish. Was not brave enough to try it, but I did have a fried chicken sandwich there that was fucking bomb. And
I believe that, but
then Ali had a Philly cheesesteak. So did the other comedian, Tony Casillas, was hosting that night, might be my new best friend out in the South. And, you know, maybe we just don't know it yet, but we're working towards it. All right. And I think we kind of noticed the gravity a bit there pulling us together. It was just a brief little dance.
Okay.
And then we'll hit each other again on the next orbit, you know. But we had a good time. Tony was fucking hilarious. And afterwards took us to another bar. And it was like fucking classic Texas, dude. You could smoke inside this bar. And we were just sitting there in the booth talking about our sets and just shooting the shit, dude. It was a great time.
So cool. That sounds so cool.
That was a lot of fun. Country music on the jukebox everywhere you go. Had to hit up a couple, or I'll do the shows first before we get into the food stuff. But
did you see any Matthew McConaughey signs?
No, but apparently he was like doing stuff in Austin while we were out there. He was doing like a big festival, I think.
Well,
I think it was online though, so it wasn't out in the world.
Okay, gotcha.
We were talking about this before I left, right? Like I think he's making a governor run.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I've heard. I saw a video about it. I haven't heard anything else, but
Yeah.
it's kind of
God, it was like I heard that, and then that The Rock was really considering his presidency run while I was out there, and I was like, we are just leaning into this.
You're talking about Dwayne?
You talk about Dwayne?
Talking about
You
Dwayne
talk about
Johnson?
Dwayne?
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the other Rock. Talk about Dwayne.
I don't know, man. That's a headline right there.
Yeah.
Rock is president.
No shit. I mean, have you seen that movie Idiocracy?
Let's say I haven't.
Okay, well, it has Luke Wilson in it. It's about 500 years in the future. Everyone just gets super dumb, and we're like headed for an intellectual collapse of society. And a professional wrestler is president, played by Terry Crews. And, you know, it's just like we're right about there. You know, all we need is a good garbage avalanche.
Jeez.
And we're in it, baby. Anyway, back to the tour. Jesus.
Wow.
We're getting dystopian. Oh, God, speaking of dystopian, I heard something about the government wanting to start a czar of truth. It's like a government-held position to discern what is real and what is fake news.
There's a whole czar for that?
A whole czar.
A whole-
They didn't even go half czar, which is, you know, the industry standard.
Wow.
Half czar, half Izard. Zarazard? Okay. All right.
Charizard?
I tried. Okay.
That's all good.
I tried.
I
I
still
gave it
number
the
one.
old college try.
Anyway, this is our.
The Czar of Truth. Yeah, it just sounds, it literally sounds like it's out of the 1984 by George Orwell.
Whoa.
But it's the Ministry of Truth in that book.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like fucking, here we go.
Dang.
Buckle up for the fun future. Yeah, we're not having utopia. We're definitely going dystopia. We decided.
Yeah. I think
Which is why we
everybody
might
wants
have
it.
to move to Texas. All right. We need to build a fortress.
If you're gonna die, may as well die where the food is great.
Okay,
Right.
we'll get to that. Exactly. The menu in heaven. Third show, we did San Antonio. San Antonio, we a guy named Davey was the host. I can't remember his last name. He's a funny guy. And that show was super cool. It was another kind of big, deep room, but it was really packed out and felt really good. They had this like interesting backdrop too. It's like I was talking with the GM about it. He says that he hates it because it's like but it's very unique, which is what we both kind of like landed on. Is it's super recognizable. It's like these bead streams of LEDs that hang down, kind of like I don't know, phalanges. I don't know what
Is it like those
where
lights?
my words are today, but it's
Like those Christmas lights that are like dripping.
yeah, it kind of looks
icicles?
like water.
Okay.
Cascading. It looks like you're standing in front of a backlit waterfall in a way.
Okay.
It's cool. Staff was great. Show went really well. We were all like incrementally improving our sets too and making little adjustments here and there. That's like the most fun part is like the car rides in between gigs too, or like when you sit down for meals and stuff like that. or just like little times right after the shows. We did hot tubs every night too, which was a lot of fun. But like, you know, when you get into like the mad scientist work of it, when you're comparing formulas and you're like, well, you know, I'm just trying to get to this, or I'm trying to get this compound here and, you know, tighten this part up there. And I'm thinking about trying to do this, and just talking about all of our strategies and methodologies and shit like that, and trade secrets. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of carpool karaoke too. Ali's got some pipes.
Nice.
So I was mostly just playing the drums, you know, just trying to keep the tune, let her go.
Well, it's an instrumental piece to the band.
Yeah, you know, and I'm just there to support. At the end of the day, I'm just there to fill out the sound, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool that you got out there. I mean, during this time, and especially when comedy's just been gone for so long, right? A real comedy,
Yeah.
as you say.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's I guess that's a good place to kind of go into this too, as we finished with the last show in Austin. It was like, you know, it was kind of like a fun little fable that you're hearing about in quarantine and lockdown of people moving out to Austin, and how comedy is alive and well in Austin. And, you know, to, I think every comedy community's credit, we all did what we could to survive and to work and to push and to, you know, hone our crafts and sharpen our blades and whatnot. But, you know, there's just nothing like being in front of a dedicated comedy crowd and being part of a community that is like passionately pursuing and chasing their dreams and uncompromisingly so. And then also the shift in audience mentality, going from San Francisco, the capital of the world,
My boss is here. I can't comment on that. You know, objectively, I see what you're going for there, sir, but I can't let you have this one.
versus, you know, in Texas, I had a dude fucking throwing up his hands. I was getting double high fives, which we talked about is, you know, a live action Yelp review. You're getting not just a high five, you're getting 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's the high score.
I know.
Full marks.
Been so far away from that. It's almost like a hug.
It is.
It could equate to a hug.
It's damn close. It's like it's a hug in a moment. It's all the energy and good feeling in a hug, but just bam, right there. There it is. Pow. Get out there, buddy.
Wow.
Go on, soldier. Thank you for your service. Yeah, dude. Okay. So last show we finished in Austin, and it's at a place called the Vulcan Gas Company, which is historically an EDM venue. It's kind of built like a House of Blues, where they have a stage that protrudes out on the main show floor, people on your left, your right, and in front of you along the back. And then there's an upper balcony all around you. And then they have a projector, and they're putting it on the screen behind you for the people up there.
Right.
That one was packed the fuck out. That was, I think, that we ended on the like I said, our sets were getting incrementally better. The crowds were getting incrementally better. We were also getting closer to the weekend. And yeah, that one was just fucking a blast. Friday night, packed the house, and then it was off to 6th Street into the night.
That's so awesome.
But the show itself, dude, was like, so man, I'm forgetting the host's name. But this kid went up. He's from LA. Then I went up. Then I brought up Craig Conant, and then Fahim Anwar was next, who's big name, hilarious fucking guy. And then Ali closed it out, and you know, it was like we nuked that place, dude. It was a great show. Everyone on the lineup killed, and I got to bring my buddy Tyler, my college roommate, out, and some of his friends and his wife to come out and see the show too. And so it was fun to, you know, get to, you know, show them me doing my thing out there, walking my walk,
and see somebody else. And you talk about bringer shows, right? You comedians like to talk about bringer shows, and that's like a kill it kind of bringer show, right?
Well, no, it is not.
Okay,
I mean,
I don't know.
bringer shows is like where you're supposed to pack out the house. I just invited my one buddy and his wife. That's kind of like the coolest opportunity that a touring comedian can give a younger comedian, is by bringing them on tour. They do a lot of the hard work with setting up the tours, selling the tickets, promoting the shows. All that kind of responsibility falls on the headliner and the opener and the feature to promote it. You know, I'm posting in my stories saying if anyone's out here, come hang out too. But it's them giving you the opportunity to perform in front of like a packed out house and just, you know, kind of step up to the plate and swing.
Right.
And so it's actually the exact opposite of a bringer show, where the bringer show, you have to, you know, it's all the pressure of filling it out and getting everybody to show up. And anyway, but that was, you know, hasn't been a thing for a while, bringer shows, but
Okay. Sorry.
no worries.
Sorry,
It's,
I'm
you know, we're
ignorant.
getting into the minutia of the bureaucracy of terminology.
Well, what I was trying to say was it's just a nice opportunity to bring somebody who you know and maybe haven't seen in a while out to a great experience that you're having as well.
Yeah, like when I moved my buddy out about a year and a half, 2 years ago, before all this, we went to a couple local shows, and like the most fun one was it was in a basement at UT, University of Texas, and there's like, you know, it was fucking grungy, but it was, you know, 30 people in a basement, fun lineup. I had a good set. And it was, you know, just one of those fun little local shows that you find in every little corner of every town. But then to be able to bring him to like a packed out club this time and then go up and hold my own with a lineup of very strong comedians was, you know, felt good.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was fun to just get them out too, because they've been in lockdown for, you know, Texas is Texas, but they've still been trying to be responsible. Everyone's trying to do what they can. Everyone's still wearing masks. And they haven't been like going out and doing a whole lot too. So to be, you know, injecting all this live comedy energy, introducing them to new spots to go hit up and all that. And yeah, it was really fun. Let's see. I think the coolest thing about the legend of Texas, as far as the comedy scene in Texas, is that California has a very defined reputation in terms of comedy audiences. They're very discerning. They're very, you know, in the best possible way and in the best possible of intentions, very liberal and very defensive, you know. And it's a lot of times very hard for people to like shrug that off and go to a comedy show and just see it as just comedy. And it's always kind of fighting up against that barrier of defensive liberalism in the name and sake of protectionism for the less fortunate and disenfranchised. Versus going to Texas, and it very much feels like someone putting on reading glasses, where it's like, okay, it's time to read. I'm going to put on my reading glasses. I don't need these all day. It's going to give me a headache if I wear my reading glasses to fucking Walgreens or in traffic. You know, I just put them on when I read.
Right.
And it was kind of like that with comedy. It's like, all right, kids, put on your comedy glasses. You know, now we're going to look at things through an objectively comedic lens.
Okay.
And we're just going to laugh at the funny stuff. And, you know, we're not going to treat anything as like a statement or a written policy or law. You know, it's all just clearly a joke. And this person has come here to make me laugh and try to make my evening more entertaining. And I thank them for it by applauding my hands. And it could all be so simple, I say.
Wow.
So I raised that charge to the San Francisco scene. We've got some great ass comics out here, but boy, oh boy, if their wings aren't being clipped by not giving them the opportunity to just be in a fully comedic space when they're performing comedy. Which all sounds very...
It's culture based, right? I mean, like you can't...
But I would say that none of the content was any different. And it wasn't like you're going out there and everyone's slinging hate speech and speaking disparagingly and saying all of the hot button words. It was the same content. It's just people were looking at it through the appropriate lens, you know, and there wasn't like a filtration system or a firewall of political correctness that you had to go through first before people allowed themselves to laugh.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not trying to make a fucking statement here. I'm just observing and reporting on what I saw.
I got you. It was
Audiences out here are great. I just think a lot of times people go out with their work friends and they're worried that they're gonna get ratted on for laughing at, I who knows? I'm not gonna try to solve that issue. But I will say that it was really nice to see an art allowed to be an art in the space that is carved out for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was very not relieving or vindicating. Just put me at ease to see that. It's nice. And particularly, stand-up is not a uniquely American art form, but it was, Samuel Clemens. Why am I forgetting? Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens was his real name. He is often credited as being the first comedian. And it is an art form based around the ideology of freedom of expression and challenging of opinions. And I think if we, chip away too much of that infrastructure, it's just going to implode on itself. Anyway, that's it for my TED Talk. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a lot of fun. Hold on, how much time do we have? We gotta talk about the food here before I run.
Okay.
So, again, if you want to watch a star shoot across the fucking sky, follow Ali Macofsky. Check out her career. She's fucking killing it. She ended on doing a Joe Rogan episode while we were out there too, which was awesome. She got to be, I think, the second guest in his new studio. And I got to get some of the inside knowledge about his new club that he's opening up out there. And it was just a wild trip. It was really like the gift of opportunity and the gift of experience. Like, I had a blast. And I never thought my life would be this, that I'd be going to another state to do comedy and other clubs that I had never been to, and to just feel like I belonged. It felt good. And it was very inspiring. I got my face right back in the notebook as soon as I got home. And like the next show I did back here locally, it was like all new jokes and, very motivating.
What would you say to a young comedian who's trying to kind of get an opportunity like that? As somebody who may have anxiety about going on the road or...
Oh, man. Okay. Biggest piece of advice I could ever give. Because I tried to make this fundamentally a part of who I am. And it crept into my comedy career in the most beautifully symbiotic of ways. But just be nice. Be a nice person. Be a pleasure to be around. Say please and say thank you. Introduce yourself. Take an interest in other people's lives. Don't be constantly asking or like wondering what they can do for you in the conversation. Take an interest and communicate with them and invest in relationships, because that's what, your life is. You could say that's what this business is, but that's what your life is at the bottom line. At the end of the day, it's your relationships in life. So no matter what you're doing, be kind, just be nice. It's crazy how many doors that will open for you, because everyone will shut the door on the dick with the ego. Everyone has no problem slamming the door in that guy's face. It feels good. It's gratifying when someone's being a dick and walking in the room like they should, Anyway, you get what I'm saying. That would be my advice, because how this all started was I was just trying to be nice to Ali, and I was a fan of hers, and I wanted to be outwardly supportive rather than just inwardly supportive. And when she walked up down the street, it just simply was saying, hey, I know you. You're really funny. And then when she's like, I'm here for the show, and I say, you belong here. Like, I don't know. And then we just became friends. And it wasn't even about thinking about how that could potentially, I was just hoping that one day our paths would cross again on the comedy road. I didn't know we would become friends. I didn't think that, we'd go on tour together. I just thought, maybe one day I'd see her in a club and be like, hey, it's me, the door guy, but just be nice to people. I see a lot of people that fuck themselves and shoot themselves in the foot by being rude or crass or entitled. And I constantly try to check myself and remind myself to just be thankful and be kind and be appreciative. So that's the best advice I could give to anybody out there. It'll take you far in everything in life. And you'll learn infinitely more because people will want to share and converse with you because they enjoy your presence. You know?
Yeah, I think that's good. I just thought it might be nice to get that perspective if, somebody's listening and
For sure.
is just wondering or unsure themselves
Absolutely.
or something.
Absolutely. Be nice. I forget who, I had someone get in my ear about that early on too, or not get in my ear about it, but they gave me that piece of advice too. They were like, one of the best things you could ever do for yourself is just be nice, because you never know who might end up helping you out one day, or who might end up also hurting you one day. It's like there's some song that's like the same people you step on the way up are the same asses you're gonna have to kiss on the way back down. And it's very much true. You never know who's gonna do what in their lives, and it's it's also just a better world if everyone's nice to each other. So I'd like to fundamentally stick with that philosophy. But there's a lot of power in reciprocity. You do something for somebody one day, they might feel inclined to do something for you another day, just because of the simple fact that you went out of your way for them. Anyway.
Amen to that.
I promised that I would make you all hungry, and we glossed right over it, but get fucking ready. So the first things we had to get out of the way were like some Southern staples. Like, I had never been to a Waffle House. Like, there's a chain called the Waffle House. Apparently they're notorious for like social media fights and like things, going down at 3 a.m. But let me fucking tell you, their breakfasts were insane. All right.
Wow.
Hash browns, better, crispier, and they had onions cooked into them too, and a little bit of some secrets in there. I don't even know what it was, but I had a breakfast sandwich on like Texas toast too. So that was like my first Texas breakfast, and I was like, hell yeah, I have arrived. Texas toast, egg, bacon, sausage, and some hash browns. Woo.
You can't do this to me right now, man.
Woo.
Oh my gosh.
Next day, we went out to dinner that night in Houston and had we ate light before the show that night. I think we just had like Caesar salad or something. And then next day we went to Cracker Barrel. I had never been to a Cracker Barrel. It's also a Southern staple. What's wild is that each one looks the same inside. It's like they're alternate dimensions, and you can step in and it's just a different employee, but the same exact backdrop.
Whoa.
But Donna is at every single one of them. She's the gatekeeper. What did I have there? Country fried steak with gravy.
Stop, dude.
Real country fried steak. Real fucking gravy. Oh, man. Fried apples. They were baked apples, not fried apples. Baked apples.
Baked apples, like apple pie, but without the pie.
So, yes, and that's your dessert after you've finished your breakfast. Country fried steak, all the gravy. Okay, moving on. Mm-hmm. Then I had that crispy fried chicken sandwich at the comedy club, but I had another one at this place called Hot Guys.
Okay.
It was at a place called St. Elmo's Brewery, and then they had a little food truck attachment to it called the Hot Guys Food Truck, and they had the best fried chicken sandwich I've ever had. Spicy Nashville fried chicken, pickles. They had a papaya slaw with it.
Jeez Louise. You're talking about Popeyes, you're talking about Chick-fil-A.
So spicy.
Man.
So good and crispy. And it was like Allie was meeting up with my buddy Tyler and I that night with some of her friends. And I had just ordered this chicken sandwich, and I was trying to eat it before she got there. And so I'm just fucking shoving this thing in my mouth, and I start sweating because it's so hot. And they were like, good sandwich, huh? And I was like, it's fucking awesome. Damn, what else do we have? One morning went out to brunch and got steak and eggs from this place. And it was like, again, it's Texas, not flank steak, but
skirt steak?
Skirt steak, thank you.
Gotcha.
Skirt steak with a little chimichurri and an over easy egg. bed of arugula.
Man.
Didn't need it, but it helped it go down. You know what I'm saying?
Little baby arugula.
Yeah, it helped it go down. A little cradle for it. Okay. We did have tacos one day that were like, after we went to this one place, I was like, Tyler, I'm going to stop you right here, okay? Because I'm coming from California. I've had tacos. Take me to the real tacos. Take me to the shit. And he was like, okay, man, I'm sorry. And the next day, we went to this place called Nixto's Tacos. And first of all,
Okay.
we had spicy margaritas there. They were not made with tequila, though. They were made with sake. What?
Sake margarita spicy?
Spicy sake margarita. Nice and light in the middle of the day. A little bit of that, what's the Mexican spicy candy salts, sugar that they put on the...
Oh, hot tamales.
Yes. Around the rim.
Really?
Around the rim.
Boy.
And a bit of like a thick mole molasses thing to bind it.
Oh my gosh.
And then we ordered the food. And the food was so good. I should have ended on this one. I can't believe I didn't save this for last, but they served me a duck confit taco, which it just sounds fancy. It's a pulled duck cooked in its own juices.
I can't even imagine it.
It's like pulled pork but duck, and so tender and and the pickled cabbages and I wanted two more. They were gonna have to pry me away from the table. I was like, make me leave.
Oh my god, dude.
And then we had a tuna tostada there that was fucking bomb too. I think I gained 10 pounds easy on this trip. For sure did.
The Texas
That was
10.
the Texas 10.
That's what they call it.
That was probably the best thing the single best thing I ate was that duck confit taco. Like all joking aside, I would request that as my last meal.
Wow,
And
that's
a
big.
tray of them, so it took me a while.
Right.
But holy hell, duck taco! Who the hell would think of that? You know?
Yeah. I mean, duck confit taco? What
Yeah.
is that even? It's like,
Duck with feet?
so, okay.
No,
So
just kidding. Duck confit. No, confit means like cooked in its own juices. It's a French term.
okay.
So, it's not far from Louisiana, so there's a lot of some French. Like, okay, so the next we went and had a croissant de lait po' boy. Croissant de lait po' boy.
Okay.
That
po'
sounds
boy.
like somebody's nephew. Come on, croissant de lait. That's my nephew, croissant de lait. You po' boy. I was a po' boy. Oh, dude. So croissant de lait po' boy.
Okay.
Now I'm forgetting what it is. I want to say it was just pulled pork po' boy, but croissant de lait I think is like a Louisiana style of preparation, if you will say, because they pre-pepper it, if you know what I'm saying. All right, now we found it. Now we're back. But at this croissant de lait po' boy place, the other thing they had good gumbo, really good hot spicy Louisiana gumbo, but like every place you go to, the bartender is super excited to tell you about their like craft liquor that they've been distilling in the back for a week. So like we had those sake margaritas, and then this place with the croissant de lait po' boy, which is just fun to say now at this point. This guy was like, "You want to try this whiskey that I've been distilling with strawberries for like the past week?"
These are all originals.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's making his own whiskey, distilling it with strawberries. And oh my God. So now we're just doing strawberry whiskey shots at the bar with this guy as we're waiting for our food.
Dang.
Strawberry whiskey. That was another thing I didn't know I needed in my life. It's like I love putting blueberries in my old fashions. And this kind of tasted like you get the berry and you don't even need any kind of bitters or mixer in the old fashioned. It was like just good on its own.
Whoa.
Dangerous. Dangerously good. Speaking of dangerously good, we finished literally an hour before my flight. We had the world famous Franklin barbecue.
Here we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted.
Dude, talk about a 3-hour flight with meat sweats. Just looking at the person next to me like, you don't want none, all right? You don't want any of what I have. I'm taking it home with me. Yes, these are riblets. Stop staring.
There's barbecue sauce everywhere.
I'm
In your
just
mouth.
twirling it in my mustache. Oh my God, dude. They had fucking pulled pork and short ribs and all the fixins and sides. There's another place, Taylor Black's, I think, or something, that I was supposed to go to, but apparently they're more famous for the sides, and Franklin is like where you go for the barbecue.
Gotcha.
Which I will stand by. They had an espresso barbecue sauce.
I can't even imagine it right now.
I got to slow down because I'm getting shaky, all right? I'm like getting diabetic over here. I can feel my heart rate spiking.
I've been shaking this whole time.
I'm going to pass out and start having fits.
Jeez.
Thrashing. You're going to have to come over with an IV of espresso barbecue sauce and bring me back.
My fluids.
Wave a little Krishanda Lay po' boy under my nose. He's back. He's good. He just needs a minute. Get him the strawberry whiskey. Oh, okay. I think that might be it for the food, and I also might have to hit the road. The last thing I'll end on is that, like when they say Southern hospitality is a real thing, it is a real thing. And when people ask you like how you're doing, get ready for a conversation. It's not like the California where it's what you say when you pass. Like we were in that Waffle House one day, and there was a guy with a great accent. You know, he was classic. I can't even fucking do it right now. He was like, just too Southern. He did it. I can't even fucking replicate it, dude. It was like out of a comic book. And I go, his accent is fucking awesome. And Ali looks over the booth and goes, I like your accent. And he proceeds to give us his entire 23andMe history. Well, my daddy was Cherokee and my mama was Chickasaw.
Wow.
And well, my nephew's in the Air Force now, and he likes to ride dirt bikes. And literally we knew his entire family, each one of their hobbies, and what they had done for the last 10 years for work before we even got to what we were doing there. and we just asked about we just said we liked his accent.
Did he talk through the whole wait to the food, or?
We were eating as he was talking.
Oh, okay.
He was
That's nice.
He was this morning's entertainment. It was dinner and a show, dinner and a story,
Yeah.
dinner and a recounting.
Story time with Texas.
My
resident.
papa, my daddy, and my mommy, my mama and my daddy. You never hear daddy in California. I mean, you hear it, but only in the videos, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
What else? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it, dude. We ended on that kick-ass show at the Vulcan. A lot's going on out there. I definitely have to go back and visit. But it's good to be back, dude. It's good to be back. I'm excited to be on this boat show this weekend. So make sure if you're in the area, you come check out that shit.
We'll add a link in the description.
Yeah, sure.
Go check it out.
ComedyOnTheBay.com. It's real easy. It's real simple. Bring your buddies. Bring a blanket because it gets fucking cold out there. But it is gorgeous. It's like the most unique comedy show I've ever done. I will say that. And that sounds like I'm, fluffing my own peener over here. But I'm just being honest. I've done some cool shows. I've done some shitty shows. Never have I done a show floating past the city I live in.
Well, that in and of itself is a reason to go.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to bringing a little Texas back to California too, some barbecue in my suitcase. I brought Craig Conant from that show. Now I'm bringing Austin with Austin. Now I am a vessel through which Texas has traveled back here. All right? And we're going to inject a little bit of fun.
Maybe that's what California needs. Maybe that's what SF needs.
We all need to reunite, We need to mix the red with the blue and get purple. It's a better color.
It really is.
It's a better color. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you stay beautiful out there. Y'all stay beautiful. That's been creeping into my lexicon. I never thought I'd be a y'all guy, but here we are. Y'all stay beautiful. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Wow. What an episode. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell your people. Tell them that they can come be people with our people. And we could all be people of Earth together. Make sure you follow us online. We want to hear from the people, so send us an email, reach out to us, and stay tuned for more. See you next time.
People of the Earth,
We interrupt our program at the request of the White House.
This is a test.
some very strange events have been taking place recently.
The emergency broadcast system,
This is only a test.
furnishing news, official information, and instruction as soon as possible.
Is there a point to all this? Let's find a point. The world is like a ride at an amusement park.
This is only a test.
This is just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love.
A small group of warriors have taken up the fight on your behalf.
It's been activated to keep you informed.
The Earth is where we make our stand.
You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful.
People of the Earth.
People of Earth.
People of Earth.
If you are not tuned to a station furnishing information for your area,